Now, it's heartbreaking, it's powerful, it's a compelling tribute, and it's called The Faces of October 7th, a new exhibition by Israeli graffiti artist Benzi Brofman, and the international organization StandWithUs has opened to the public in Jerusalem, created as a tribute to the victims of the Hamas massacre. More than 1,200 people murdered during the Hamas terror rampage. Terrorists abducting 250 people into Gaza. 101 are still there, as we just heard in that report, nearly a year since the darkest day in the history of the country. And now for more, we welcome to studio Michael Dickson, Executive Director of StandWithUs Israel, and businessman and philanthropist Eitan Neishlos, based in Dubai but visiting the country right now. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for being here. And Michael, I want to start with you because it is difficult to comprehend that it's nearly a year since the darkest day in the history of this country, the 7th of October. And yet there is an exhibit, a creative way, a powerful way to show us the faces that we already feel we know. Tell us more.
Absolutely. So we're coming up to that grim anniversary. Since October the 7th of last year, it's been our duty to tell the stories of those individuals who were massacred, the soldiers who've fallen in battle, and those who are still held hostage in Gaza. And so we wanted to create a memorial space. On October the 7th, we'll be holding memorials throughout the world. We'll have the first memorial in the world at 6:29 a.m. On Bondi Beach in Australia, and then commemorations all around the world from London to Sao Paulo. But here in Israel and Jerusalem, in our visitor center that gets about 10,000 visitors every year, we'll be hosting this Faces of Israel exhibition, which is now open. And we teamed up with artist Benzi Brofman. He was painting at the Nova Festival on October the 6th.
He has an incredible story. Tell us.
Yeah, well, he received a phone call on that day from his wife, who asked him to come home. She had a bad feeling, and that phone call ended up saving his life. He went back home and, of course, saved his life from the massacre, but he's now committed himself to painting the portraits of those that we've lost, and the portraits are artistic and lifelike and have become a source of meaning for the families who've lost loved ones.
And again, so many of us feel like we know these people, we know these faces. Eitan, talk to us about your connection to this project. What resonated with you? You live in Dubai.
Yes, I do. My mission is to embrace the spirit of the Abraham Accords. The United Arab Emirates enshrines its values through a ministry of tolerance that with empathy ensures that 220 cultures are living side by side with one another. And this October 7th exhibition is providing a safe space for the victims of October 7th, of multiple nationalities, of multiple religious denominations, to mourn, for Israelis to have a safe space to commemorate, and an opportunity for us to communicate with empathy to millions of people around the world of multiple religious denominations, to look them in the eyes, not to deny them, to feel their pain, to join us to bring them home now so that we can look them in the eyes and offer them a promise of a better future.
And living in the United Arab Emirates and traveling the way you do, what is the reaction that you are getting from people you interact with about what happened on the 7th of October and, to be honest, what is happening still on this day?
Well, I live safely in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, under the shaded palm over there. And since I've been there, I have done the first ever Kristallnacht event. I've taken His Excellency Ahmed al-Bad al-Mansouri to Auschwitz. We have started the process of restoring 8,000 children's shoes at Auschwitz as vital evidence. But this epitome, the center of anti-Semitism, comes from conspiracy theories, and it's sustained through denial. And as we're restoring the children's shoes as vital evidence, we're now finding ourselves having to hold onto the pillar of truth so that no one will deny our history, not then and not now. We have to scream the truth until there's simply no more lies left to tell.
And Michael, StandWithUs has been so crucial in that fight against anti-Semitism, this bizarre, disturbing spike in the space of this year. Talk us through what stood out for you, what really shocked you about the response to October 7th.
Absolutely. Well, like Eitan, we're living the promise of never again, and now is the time where we need to stand out. And so we've seen egregious anti-Semitism, unlike in the Holocaust, where there was some pause before Holocaust denial. It was happening in real time on October the 8th. We saw people on the streets of New York with signs saying resistance by any means. So we have to be as active as we can be. We have a following globally on social media of 1.5 billion interactions since October the 7th. And we're trying to empower young people particularly, but people of all backgrounds and all faiths from all over the world to stand up and have their voice heard. This was a terrible moment, the most awful moment in modern Israeli history and in the Jewish history since the Holocaust. But of course, now we have an opportunity and an awakening, and now we must all come forward and raise our voice.
So important, and what's so different this time in terms of the 7th of October, Hamas, of course, filming the atrocities, the depravity, the brutality, and yet there's still people who ask if it even happened. Thank you so much for being here to explain your work. Good luck with your work as well. Thank you so much for being here in studio. Eitan Neishlos and Michael Dickson, appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
The faces of the 7th of October.